All right, everyone, welcome. Today, we're going to do a deep dive into one of the most critical tools in your kitchen, the probe thermometer. You know, making sure this little device is accurate isn't just a nice idea. It's our #1 line of defense for keeping our guests safe and protecting our reputation. So, let's get right into it. So here's what we're going to cover today. We've broken it down into 5 simple parts. We'll start with a big why temperature control is so incredibly important. Then, we'll talk about giving your thermometer a proper health check. After that, we'll walk through 2 super easy calibration methods. And finally, we'll cover what to do with the results you get. Okay, let's kick things off with part 1, why temperature matters. Honestly, if you understand this part, everything else we talk about today will make perfect sense. This is the foundation. I want you to look at this range, 5 degrees to 60 degrees Celsius. Burn this into your memory. This, my friends, is what we call the temperature danger zone. It's basically the perfect vacation spot for nasty bacteria to grow and multiply like crazy in our food. And this is why it's so critical. When food sits in that danger zone for too long, we're not just talking about it going bad. We're talking about the very real danger of food poisoning. Our attention to detail, using a thermometer that we can trust, is literally what stands between a delicious, safe meal and a major health risk for our guests. So, we've established why temperature is a huge deal. Now, let's talk about the tool we all rely on to measure it, the probe thermometer. You should think of this thing as being just as important as your sharpest knife or your most reliable oven. It's a precision tool. But here's the catch. A precision tool is only useful if it's accurate. If your thermometer is giving you the wrong reading, it's worse than useless. It's actually dangerous. Which brings us to this key process, internal calibration. Now, I know it sounds a bit technical, but it's really not. It's just a fancy way of saying we're checking our thermometer against 2 temperatures that we know for a fact are correct, the freezing point and the boiling point of water. It's a simple health check for your most important tool. So when do you need to do this? Well, for our kitchens, the rule is simple, weekly. But there are other times it's an absolute must. If you drop it, you check it. If you're moving from the walk-in fridge to the hotline, you check it. If it's been sitting in a drawer for a while, you check it. Think of these as automatic triggers to test its accuracy right away. Okay, let's get our hands dirty and talk about how to actually do this. We're going to cover 2 methods, and the first one is called the ice point method. This is the perfect way to check how accurate your thermometer is at colder temperatures. The whole process is super straightforward. First up, you make an ice slurry. Just fill a cup with crushed ice, add a little water, and give it a good stir. Step 2, and this is crucial, always start with a clean and sanitized probe. Then, you just stick the sensing tip right into the middle of that ice slurry for at least 30 seconds. This gives it time to get a stable reading. And finally, take a look at the temperature it shows. And this picture shows you exactly what I'm talking about. You've got your ice, you add the water, and then you put the probe in. The real key here is to make sure the tip is right in the middle of the ice bath, not touching the bottom or the sides of the container. That's how you get a true reading. So what's the magic number we're looking for? It's simple. We all know water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius, right? So that's our target. Your thermometer should read exactly 0 degrees Celsius. Anything different, even by a little bit, needs to be noted down. All right, on to method number 2. To check how accurate your thermometer is with hot foods, we use the boiling point method. And guess what? It's just as easy and just as important. And you'll notice the steps are pretty much the same. First, get a pan of water to a good rolling boil. Second, again, make sure your probe is clean and sanitized. Third, submerge the sensing tip for at least 30 seconds, and just like before, keep it away from the hot bottom and sides of the pan. And finally, write down that temperature. This visual here shows the perfect technique. See how the water is really boiling and the probe is right in the center? That ensures you're measuring the temperature of the water itself, not getting a false reading from the hot metal of the pan. And what are we looking for here? Another easy one. The boiling point of water is a scientific constant, 100 degrees Celsius. That is the number you want to see on your display. Just like with the ice point, we're looking to see if there's any variation at all. Okay, so you've done the test, but that's only half the battle, right? Now we've got to talk about what those numbers actually mean, and more importantly, what we need to do about them. This is where it all comes together. If there is one number you take away from this whole section, let it be this one, plus or minus 1 degree Celsius. This is our acceptable wiggle room, our tolerance. A perfect 0 or a perfect 100 is fantastic, but if it's off by just a little bit,
Within this 1-degree window, it's still usable, as long as we know how to adjust for it.
This table breaks it down perfectly. Let's take a look. Say you do the ice point test, and your thermometer reads minus 0.5 degrees. That tells you it's reading half a degree too low. So, from now on, for every cold food you temp, you need to add half a degree to whatever it says. And on the flip side, if it reads 100.5 in boiling water, it's reading half a degree too high. So you'd subtract half a degree from all your hot food readings. See? Simple.
So what do you actually do? Here's the plan. If the difference is within that 1-degree tolerance, just make a note of it. Maybe put a little sticker on the thermometer that says plus 0.5 degrees Celsius, so you never forget. But, and this is a big but, if the reading is off by more than 1 degree, that thermometer is no longer reliable. It's out. It has to be replaced or sent out to a professional to be recalibrated. There are 0 exceptions to this rule. And to make sure this gets down every single time, we have very clear roles. It is the chef or the unit supervisor's responsibility to perform these checks every week and to log the results. The operations manager then reviews those logs. This isn't about checking up on you, it's about creating a system of accountability that protects everyone. So I'll leave you with this one simple question to ask yourself. When was the last time you checked the calibration on the thermometer you use every day? Your personal commitment to this quick, easy check is a direct commitment to the health of our guests. Let's make sure every tool in our kitchen is a tool we can trust. Thank you.